we going to hear tonight? Lenny is going to be speaking from the storytelling manual. He is going to speak for 7 to 9 minutes. The title of his speech, What Really Happened the Day of My Wedding? What really happened the day of my wedding, Lenny Dingman.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
January 16th, 1999. A day I'll never forget. Or I'll get smacked if I do. It was the day I said I do. And ever since then, I've been doing it. Watch it. You ever see those big productions, those big monster things, and wonder what happens behind the scenes? What happened during all the prep time? Those big giant crises that happen, and they make it appear just nice and smooth, and you don't find out until afterwards that it could have been a big giant catastrophe? January 16th, 1999. That morning, my dad stands at my door. Everett! He always calls me by my middle name. You need to get out of bed and get the hell out of my house. I'm rolling out of my bed, looking at him, going, good morning to you too. What are you talking? Get out. And I said, what? He goes, this is the day I get to officially kick you out of the house. And then it hit me. It's the day of my wedding. Duh. I get up, I look over, my brother's on the other side of the room sleeping on the floor. I don't know why. He looks over and goes, remind me, when I go to do this, I elope. I said, no, Rory, I will. We get there in the living room. We munching a bowl of cereal and everything. My dad comes in. He stopped right there right before he left the kitchen, turns to the refrigerator, reaches to the back of it, and pulls out his old bottle, his old friend Jack. And I'm like, okay, Dad, what's up? And he goes, congratulations, son. You're doing it. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'm eating my cereal. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to go brush my teeth next. He's like, no. You don't understand. In 5 hours, you're doing it. And I'm like, yeah, about that. Yeah, okay. He goes, to your granddad. And he hands me the bottle. I'm like, all right, to granddad. Quick sip. Okay, it's not even 9 o'clock, Dad. He's like, to your uncle. To your other uncle. And he's passing me and my brother the bottle back and forth. And I'm just like not even fully awake yet. And I'm just taking a quick sip. And my brother's like, all right, Dad, bottoms up. We're going on and everything else. And I'm like, Dad. He's like, just so-and-so. I'm like, no, too much. I've got to drive to the thing. He's like, all right. We'll continue this later. Okay. My brother and I went ahead and showered and everything else, started to get ready. We're loading up our tuxedos into the car, and we're fixing to drive to where the wedding is being held. The men have their own back area over here to get ready. The ladies have the nice fancy room upstairs. We get in there. My mom's already busy in the hall. She's decorating and setting everything up. Friends of ours are over here. They're getting all the food together and everything. The MC is up front. He's getting all the radio, all the speakers and everything going. Her cousin and her uncle are out in the yard, setting up the yard and everything else with the chairs. On the way there, my brother tells me, hey, you need to pull over to that store. I'm like, why? You need something to drink. See, Stacy made it perfectly clear that we were going to have a dry wedding. She put her foot down. She said, nothing in this wedding. There will not be anything there. My brother and I fought a hard fight, but we still did not win it. So we stopped at the store. I assumed we were just going to pick up maybe a 6-pack, maybe a 12-pack. It's just the guys and everything, just a couple of beers. $150 later, we're loading it into the car, and I'm like, Nathan, how are we going to get this there? Well, we realized with all the chaos, Stacy and the girls are upstairs in the room getting ready. We have to make it through the hall and off to the corner to where the men's room was. Behind the men's room was a giant area, like a locker room kind of thing, where we were going to set up the guys' area. So my brother is carrying the tuxedo garment bag. He's holding the bottom of it nice and tenderly, while the rest of the tux is dragging on the ground. Because he knows what's important. He doesn't want to spill anything. He doesn't want to break anything. He gets it there. He sets it into the room. He goes back out to the car to get my tuxedo bag. Comes in carrying it tenderly. Sets it down in there also. The other guys have already showed up there. They're all right, what do we got? What do we got? My brother said, you, go, kitchen, get ice. Give me 10 minutes, I'll have the shop set up. And he did. Another guy went to the janitor's closet and stole a little radio so we had some music playing in there while we were getting ready. We have about an hour and a half until we get there. We hear the girls all giggling and everything else. All the girly stuff that's going on. Men's room, you hear crack, catch, crack, catch, crack, catch. They're cracking them open and passing them around. We let the party get started. So as we're all enjoying the festivities, her dad comes in. We pass one to him. He's like, okay, you're right. As long as it stays back here, Stacy will never know, and everything will be all nice and fine. So, it's about 20, 30 minutes. Everybody's starting to filter in. All the guys, for whatever reason, the word gets out. So everybody stops back here to tell me congratulations and to have a quick drink. So we're continuing on. We're enjoying the festivities. All of a sudden they say, all right, it's time. It's time. So we switch to water. We're going to rinse our mouths out. That's just going to get rid of it. No, that didn't get rid of it. We're crunching ice cubes. It doesn't kill the buzz. It doesn't kill the smell. My brother's already spilled some on his coat, and I'm like, great, wonderful. Then her brother-in-law, he's only, I think, 12 at the time. He has the idea because he's had one sip of beer, so he's cool. So, he hands us a pack of gum. Now, for like 6 guys, one of the big packs of Wrigley's gum, and we're chewing about 4 or 5 pieces at a time. Because we're determined that we're going to get this flavor out. You won't be able to smell it on our breath. It was vodka. You can't smell vodka. Yeah. We're chewing the gum and everything else. Then we hear the music starting and everything else, and we proceed to walk on down. I'm walking down. I'm nice and comfortable. I'm enjoying my day. I'm walking down the aisle. My brother's behind me. He's like, I got my keys. Car's unlocked. We can make a run for it. And I'm like, hush, hush, hush. My other friend behind me, he's walking back there, and he's giggling the whole time. And I'm like, dude, chill. And then the other guy's just like wandering really kind of staggeringly down the aisle. So nothing was wrong. We all lined up. We're all sitting there looking at the preacher, smiling, nodding our heads, going, okay, how you doing? We're looking out at the audience. We're all still chewing our gum because we don't want to get caught with the flavor. The ceremony goes wonderful. Everything is great. Now at that moment when you lean in, for those of you that are married, that moment when you lean in and you kiss your bride right after they say, I do, and they pronounce you man and wife, and you lean in and you're expecting the heavens to open up with the angels singing and fireworks to be going off. And instead it's, okay, where's our angels? Where's the fireworks? It didn't happen. We didn't feel that, wow, that oh moment. We didn't have it. She looks at me, I'm looking at her, and we're looking at each other, and then I said, all right, you're my bride now. I leaned her over and got her a big wet one right there in front of everybody. Everybody starts applauding. Everybody starts clapping. He knows what he's doing. All right. So, I pick her up. I look at her. She gives me that look. And guys, you know that look that your wife gives you that knows that you're on the sofa for that night? It's my honeymoon night. I don't want to be on the sofa. She's like, what is that? And I said, juicy fruit. She disagreed. She goes, you better bring me a cup when we get back in there. Okay. So we turn around, and she can't find her dad. She's like, where's my dad? I said, I don't know, but smile, people are taking pictures. And she's like, no, where's my dad? Then we look over to the left, and her dad is sitting over by my family, over here on the side, because you know the family's split up and everything. Kind of stays that way. And her brother's over there with his jacket off, with his tie undone and his shirt unbuttoned, apparently standing out there in the hot sun for 40 minutes, and he decides to pass out. So we're all smiling and like, there's your dad, there's your brother. Let's go, let's walk, let's walk, let's walk. We finally get back inside, and we realized that here it is. Now we get to start the handshaking and everything else, and we realized that through it all, even though it started out slightly chaotic, and even though, as usual, being a typical husband, I didn't always do exactly what I was supposed to do, we still started off with a really, really great time. And there's been many, many more stories since then. Madam Toastmaster.